Chapter 59, The Night Greyfard Burned, Part 1. I want White Wolf and White Whale to pay the price for their deeds. The moment those words echoed across the chamber, the entire atmosphere changed. The cold night wind moving through Lysara's balcony suddenly felt heavier. Dangerous. Across the royal chamber, Lysara slowly looked down toward Morveth silently. For several long moments, neither of them moved. One represented the authority of Greyfard, the other, a monster feared for over a century. Then finally, Lysara rose slowly from her throne, golden eyes filled with absolute calmness. Not under my watch. The room instantly became silent. Several nearby guards visibly tensed, because everyone understood something terrifying. Neither side intended to step back. Then suddenly, Morveth disappeared. Boom! The entire chamber exploded apart instantly. Black aura collided directly against golden energy. The pressure alone shattered massive sections of the palace walls. Flames erupted violently through the royal chamber, while shockwaves spread across the surrounding district. And outside, chaos immediately began consuming the palace itself. Royal guards rushed forward from every direction. But at the same time, elite warriors of the Draegor clan flooded into the battlefield as well. Steel collided violently beneath the burning night sky. Boom! 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 Aura explosions continuously shook the palace grounds. At the center of the battlefield, Night Greyfard led the royal guards personally, silver spear flashing endlessly through the darkness. Every strike she unleashed forced multiple Draegor warriors backward. Meanwhile, high above the burning palace, Lysara herself remained locked in direct combat against Morveth. Golden aura against absolute darkness. A ruler against an assassin feared for more than 100 years. But none of this chaos had started suddenly. No, the flames consuming the palace tonight had begun much earlier, back when the Royal Colosseum was still drowning beneath endless cheers. While spectators screamed during monstrous tournament battles, Morveth and the members of the Draegor clan had already begun their own hunt. The search for Vex. Inside the abandoned camp area, the atmosphere felt strangely quiet. Unlike the roaring arena nearby, only silence remained here. Several clan members carefully inspected the damaged surroundings while torches flickered against the cold night wind. Then finally, one of the warriors slowly lowered himself toward the ground. Lord Morveth. There was definitely a struggle here. Morveth approached silently. The deeper he looked, the colder his eyes became. Broken soil, disturbed furniture, deep footprints, and dragging marks across the earth itself. Someone had fought desperately here, and afterward, someone had been dragged away by force. One of the younger clan members clenched his fist tightly. Young Master Vex. But Morveth himself remained silent. Far too silent. Slowly, his eyes moved toward the backside of the tent. Then, he stopped. A tiny tear mark existed within the fabric, almost invisible, small enough that ordinary people would never notice it. But Morveth noticed immediately. Without speaking, he reached forward and touched the damaged cloth carefully. Then finally, he spoke quietly. Sharp metal. The surrounding clan members immediately focused. Morveth's fingers slowly traced the damaged section. This wasn't accidental. Someone searched this tent carefully, and whatever they were looking for, they found it. The atmosphere instantly became heavier, because the situation no longer felt random. No, this felt prepared, planned, deliberate. Soon, the dragging marks continued further beyond the camp itself, across the darker sections of the royal grounds, and eventually, they reached the underground prison district. The moment Morveth saw the prison gates, his expression darkened slightly, because these prisons were different. Special barrier formations surrounded the underground chambers entirely. Prisons specifically created for powerful rankers. Even monsters would become helpless once trapped inside. For several moments, Morveth simply stared toward the underground entrance silently. The struggle, the dragging marks, the missing object, the prison. One clue after another slowly connected together inside his mind. Then finally, his eyes narrowed slightly. A conspiracy. One of the clan members immediately stepped closer. You believe someone captured young Master Vex. But before the conversation could continue, Morveth suddenly raised one hand slightly. Instant silence followed. Then, without moving his expression, Morveth gave several tiny signals using only his fingers. Instantly, every elite clan member understood. Do not expose suspicion. Act naturally. Someone might still be watching. Then finally, Morveth spoke loudly enough for nearby royal guards to hear clearly. These clues feel far too convenient. Several guards nearby immediately looked toward him nervously. Morveth calmly continued. It almost feels like someone wishes for us to believe Lysara arrested my grandson. For a brief moment, his old eyes became unreadable. But I know Night Greyfard. She would never use methods this sloppy. Then slowly, Morveth turned away from the prison gates entirely. Search the nearby forest. It's possible Vex escaped after being attacked. The clan members immediately bowed, and one by one, they dispersed naturally, exactly as Morveth intended. But unlike the others, Morveth himself quietly moved toward the dense forest located directly behind Vex camp. Alone, the deeper he walked, the quieter the world became. The distant cheers of the tournament slowly disappeared completely. Moonlight barely passed through the enormous trees above. Cold wind moved softly through the darkness. Even the atmosphere itself began feeling unnatural. Then finally, Morveth stopped. Slowly, he bent downward and touched the soil beneath his feet. For several moments, he remained completely motionless. Then finally, he sighed faintly. Foolish child, I think I finally know where you went. His voice carried neither anger nor sadness, only disappointment. Then once again, Morveth continued deeper into the forest alone, further and further, until eventually he reached the very heart of the darkness. At that exact moment, Morveth suddenly stopped walking entirely. Silence consumed the forest. Then, without even turning around, Morveth spoke calmly into the darkness itself. You're skilled at hiding your presence. The forest remained silent, but slowly, Morveth's killing intent began spreading through the shadows around him. Heavy, sharp, terrifying, but not skilled enough to escape me. I've been an assassin for more than 100 years. Then finally, Morveth slowly turned around, and his ancient eyes landed directly upon someone hiding within the darkness. And so, the search for Vex had finally led Morveth to the heart of the forest. But what awaited him in the darkness was far more dangerous than he expected. Who is the mysterious figure hiding among the trees? And what truth is about to shake Greyfard to its very foundation? Find out in Part 2 of Chapter 59, The Night Greyfard Burned. If you're enjoying The Broken Realm, don't forget to like, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss the next chapter. Thank you for listening, and until next time, may the stars guide your path.